Hello and welcome. Today we bring you quotes attributed to Zeno of Citium and the reflective of Stoic principles. We start with the first quote. Happiness is a good flow of life. We have 2 ears and 1 mouth so that we can listen twice as much as we speak. The goal of life is living in agreement with nature. It is not the man who has too little, but the man who craves more that is poor. Man conquers the world by conquering himself. The reason why we have 2 ears and only 1 mouth is that we may listen the more and talk the less. A man's worth is no greater than the worth of his ambitions. Virtue is a harmony between mind and reason. The greatest blessing granted to mankind comes by the way of madness, which is a divine gift. Wealth is the slave of a wise man, the master of a fool. He who is brave is free. A bad feeling is a commotion of the mind repugnant to reason. Wealth consists not in having great possessions, but in having few wants. The first step towards greatness is to be honest. Time is the most valuable thing a man can spend. A happy life consists in tranquility of mind. Wise men speak because they have something to say. Fools because they have to say something. The art of being wise is the art of knowing what to overlook. Do not pursue what is illusory, property and position. All that is gained at the expense of nerves, decade after decade, and is confiscated in one fell night. Live with a steady superiority over life. Don't be afraid of misfortune, and do not yearn after happiness. It is, after all the same. The bitter doesn't last forever, and the sweet never fills the cup to overflowing. The happiness of your life depends upon the quality of your thoughts. These 20 principles derive from the quotes attributed to Zeno of Citium, who was the father of Stoicism. The flow of life. This quote emphasizes that happiness comes from living a balanced and harmonious life, where things flow smoothly, without excessive disruptions or obstacles. As Confucius once said, life is really simple, but we insist on making it complicated. Aristotle once said, happiness depends upon ourselves. Zhuangzi said, flow with whatever may happen and let your mind be free. Number 2, effective communication encourages active listening and thoughtful speaking, leading to better understanding and communication in relationships. reinforces the idea of listening more and speaking less to gain wisdom, as well as understanding from others. As Plato once said, wise men speak because they have something to say, fools because they have to say something. John Marshall once said, to listen well is as powerful a means of communication and influence as to talk well. And Peter Drucker once said, the most important thing in communication is hearing what is not said. The third principle, alignment with nature, suggests that living in harmony with nature brings purpose and fulfillment to life, fostering a deeper connection with the natural world. As Aristotle once said, nature does nothing uselessly. John Muir once said, the clearest way into the universe is through a forest wilderness. And Frank Lloyd Wright said, study nature, love nature, stay close to nature, it will never fail you. The fourth principle, contentment, highlights the importance of being satisfied with what one has, rather than constantly desiring more, as true poverty comes from insatiable cravings. Lao Tzu said, he who is contented is rich. Socrates once said, contentment is natural wealth. Luxury is artificial poverty. And Joseph Addison once said, a contented mind is the greatest blessing a man can enjoy in this world. The fifth principle, self-mastery, indicates that true strength and victory come from mastering one's own impulses, emotions, and behaviors. As Confucius once said, he who conquers himself is the mightiest warrior. Lao Tzu said, mastering others is strength. Mastering yourself is true power. And Plato said, the first and greatest victory is to conquer yourself. The sixth principle, ambition and value, stresses that a person's worth is determined by their aspirations and their ambitions, highlighting the importance of noble goals and pursuits. As Plato once said, the greatest wealth is to live content with little. Socrates said, the only true wisdom is knowing you know nothing. And Frank Tiger said, ambition is enthusiasm with a purpose. The seventh principle, virtue and harmony, defines virtue as the alignment of one's mind and actions with reason, leading to inner harmony and moral excellence. As Lao Tzu said, the highest virtue is not virtue, and therefore truly is virtue. Marcus Aurelius once said, the soul becomes dyed with the color of its thoughts. And Socrates once said, the greatest way to live with honor in this world is to be what we pretend to be. The eighth principle, divine insight, suggests that moments of inspiration or madness can lead to profound insights and blessings, offering new perspectives and creativity. As Albert Einstein once said, the true sign of intelligence is not knowledge, but imagination. Thomas Edison once said, genius is 1% inspiration and 99% perspiration. And Aristotle once said, there is no great genius without a mixture of madness. The ninth principle, wealth and wisdom, indicates that wealth is beneficial when wisely managed, but can become a burden or master if one becomes obsessed with it. Certainly, here are 3 quotes from ancient philosophers that clarify the meanings of the benefits derived from Zeno of Citium's quotes. As Epictetus said, wealth consists not in having great possessions, but in having few wants. Seneca once said, it is not the man who has too little, but the man who craves more that is poor. And William James said, the art of being wise is knowing what to overlook. The 10th principle, bravery and freedom, links bravery to freedom, implying that courage liberates individuals from fear and limitations. As Democritus said, the brave man is he who overcomes not only his enemies, but his pleasures. Robert Frost once said, freedom lies in being bold. And Mark Twain said, courage is resistance to fear, mastery of fear, not absence of fear. The 11th principle, emotional regulation, defines bad feelings as disturbances of the mind contrary to reason, advocating for emotional stability and rational thinking. As Epictetus once said, no person is free who is not master of themselves. Lao Tzu said, he who controls others may be powerful, but he who has mastered himself is mightier still. And Marcus Aurelius said, the best revenge is not to be like your enemy. The 12th principle, simplicity and satisfaction, suggests that true wealth is not measured by material possessions, but by having modest desires and being content with what one has. As Leonardo da Vinci once said, simplicity is the ultimate sophistication. Plato once said, the greatest wealth is to live content with little. And Joseph Addison once said, a contented mind is the greatest blessing a man can enjoy in this world. The 13th principle, honesty and integrity, states that honesty is foundational to achieving greatness and earning respect and trust from others. As Thomas Jefferson once said, honesty is the first chapter in the book of wisdom. C.S. Lewis said, integrity is doing the right thing even when no one is watching. And Scott Hamilton once said, the high road is always respected. Honesty and integrity are always rewarded. The 14th principle, time management, emphasizes the importance of using time wisely, as it is the most valuable resource that cannot be regained once it is lost. As Stephen R. Covey once said, The key is not in spending time, but in investing it. Benjamin Franklin said, "Lost time is never found again." And Michael Altshuler said, "The bad news is time flies. The good news is you're the pilot." The 15th principle, tranquility and inner peace, defines a happy life as one characterized by a calm and peaceful state of mind, free from unnecessary disturbances or anxieties. As Buddha once said, "Peace comes from within. Do not seek it without." Roy T. Bennett once said, "Nothing can disturb your peace of mind unless you allow it to." And Pema Chodron said, "Inner peace begins the moment you choose not to allow another person or event to control your emotions." The 16th principle, wisdom in speech, differentiates between wise and foolish speech, highlighting the importance of speaking with purpose and substance. As Solomon Ibn Gabriel said, "The beginning of wisdom is silence. The second step is listening." Plato once said, "Wise men speak because they have something to say. Fools because they have to say something." And Mahatma Gandhi once said, "Speak only if it improves upon the silence." The 17th principle, discernment, advises focusing on what truly matters and ignoring distractions or trivial matters, demonstrating discernment and wisdom. In this regard, there's a famous Tibetan proverb that says, "The wise understand by themselves. Fools follow the reports of others." Henry Wadsworth Longfellow once said, "In character, in manner, in style, in all things, the supreme excellence is simplicity." And Henry David Thoreau said, "It's not what you look at that matters. It's what you see." The 18th principle, detachment and resilience, encourages detachment from material pursuits and a resilient attitude towards life's ups and downs, fostering inner strength and stability. As Alan Watts once said, "The only way to make sense out of change is to plunge into it, move with it, and join the dance." Thich Nhat Hanh said, "Letting go gives us freedom, and freedom is the only condition of happiness." And Ralph Waldo Emerson once said, "What lies behind us and what lies before us are tiny matters compared to what lies within us." The 19th principle, positive thinking, asserts that one's thoughts and mindset significantly impacts their happiness and overall quality of life, advocating for positive and constructive thinking patterns. As Helen Keller once said, "Optimism is the faith that leads to achievement. Nothing can be done without hope and confidence." Zig Ziglar once said, "Positive thinking will let you do everything better than negative thinking will." And Marcus Aurelius once said, "The happiness of your life depends on the quality of your thoughts. The 20th principle, living authentically, refers to being true to oneself, embracing one's genuine identity, values, beliefs, and emotions without pretense or conformity to external pressures or expectations. It involves living in alignment with one's true nature, expressing thoughts and feelings honestly, and making choices that reflect one's innermost convictions and desires. This concept emphasizes self-awareness, self-acceptance, and the courage to be genuine and sincere in all aspects of one's life. As Ralph Waldo Emerson once said, to be yourself in a world that is constantly trying to make you something else is the greatest accomplishment. Joseph Campbell said, the privilege of a lifetime is being who you are. And Brene Brown once said, authenticity is the daily practice of letting go of who we think we're supposed to be and embracing who we are. This is from the wisdom of Zeno of Citium, better known as the father of Stoicism. Let us remember that living authentically is not just a choice, but a path on our journey through life. If this video resonates with you, don't forget to like, share, and subscribe for more videos on ancient wisdom, Stoicism, and personal growth. And remember this quote from Albert Einstein when he said, the true sign of intelligence is not knowledge, but imagination. Until next time, stay true to yourself, live authentically, stay safe, stay motivated, and thanks for watching The Growth Mindset.